you have to make it. Yeah? You just don't open up your refrigerator and everything that's in there for the salad just shows up and jumps in the bowl. You've got to chop it up. You've got to fix it up. You've got to prepare it. You've got to do everything that we do that's worth noting takes time. Good food takes time. To look nice takes time. To get a home, own a home, a car, whatever, it all takes time. Everything takes time. Just the other day, I was commending Jerry's faith and him tackling on this project with his car. And it was a big project. And it was a big project that required a lot of his time. But he committed to the process of time. And I'm sure when he turned that key and that car started up, that was a good feeling. Because how many hours did he put in there trusting God for every little detail? And yet it started right up. It did exactly what it was supposed to do because he was patient. Process. Everything is a process. Time is a process. Patience. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says he has made everything beautiful and appropriate in its time. He has also planted eternity. Listen to this. A sense of divine purpose in the human hearts. A mysterious longing which nothing under the sun can satisfy us except God. Yet man cannot find out or even comprehend or even grasp what God has done, his overall plan from the beginning to the end. It is divine. God puts his divine plan on the inside of us. He gives us eternal purpose on the inside of us. What wakes you up to keep moving towards something that you may not even know you're moving towards? It's called a divine purpose that God put within you. Each one of you have it. Each one of you, God is working on it. Every day you're getting closer. Amen? I love this perspective of God's creation as it relates to time. And Ecclesiastes 3:15 is pretty profound when you think about it. You have to read it a few times to really get a hold of what it really means. So I'll break it down for you. Here's what it says. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before. And God will call the past to account. Think about that. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before. And God will call the past to account. Sounds interesting, but what in the world does that mean? Whatever is your present. So whatever is happening right here, right now, in your present, has already been. Which means that what's happening right now is not surprising God at all. Because whatever happened today has already been in God's mind, in God's creation, in God's spirit. He is spirit. So whatever is in the present has already been past. To God, today is past tense. For us, it's present tense. But for God, it's past tense. So no matter what kind of hell you're going through today, it's past tense. Yes. Because God knew that whatever is happening right here, right now, has already been. And if that wasn't profound enough, he says, and what will be has been before. Will be is future. So God says, even what you haven't experienced yet has been before. What is has already been, and what will be has been before. Which means that our present is really God's past, and our future is God's past. So no matter what you're going through today, even tomorrow, you're like, and it says tomorrow, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has enough worry and trouble of its own. Right? Yeah. God ain't worried about tomorrow either. You're like, I'm just trying to get through today, Pastor. I'm just trying to get through today. Well, it's okay. Be encouraged, because whatever you're going through today has already been. And whatever you'll go through tomorrow has been before. So God already knows exactly what your future is. No matter what's in your future, the one that's holding it is God. And then he says, and God will call the past to account. What in the world does that mean? Well, if our present is behind us, and if our future has already been before, then that makes our present and our future our past. Which means God's already worked it all out. Yeah. So then when God says, he goes, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything that I've created over the process of time, the past, the present, and the future, and I'm going to call the past to account. Which means that if the future is your past and the present is your past, then your future and your present is going to be called to account. Am I confusing you, or are you getting this? A little good. A little stretching is okay. A little stretching. Yeah, it's stretching you a little bit. See, this is the way God, this is his language. It's his word. This is the way he thinks. This is why he wants us to help us articulate that. So let me see if I can help you get it. We all got to get this. This is important. So whatever is has already been. So your present is really in God's mind, or from God's point of view, your past. And whatever will be has been before, which means your future is already your past. So both your present and your future is your past. So everything that got created for you to do in this world, both in the present and in the future, is God's past. So what God says is, I've got a finished book for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the past, which represents the present and the future, to account. So it has to give an account, and it has to bring you into manifestation of what God has already created you to do from the end, back from the beginning, and he'll make it manifest today. So it's the manifestation of what God has already created that we are waiting for. It's already been created. We're just waiting for it to show up. So if God is giving you a word of promise that said your family shall be saved, and they're not saved yet, that means what will be salvation for your whole family has been before, which means that they're already saved from God's point of view. So we're waiting in the process of time for God to say, now your past, which is also from God's point of view, your future, is going to be called to account. Which means what God has destined for your family to be saved, they shall be saved today, because God's calling your past to account. So your past has to give an account according to what God has established. You can keep making good decisions, and when it comes time to be given account, you ask a CPA at the end of the month. They have to give an account for all of the expenses that happen during the month. So all of the spending and all the expenses has to give an account at the end of the month of everything that has happened. It's the same thing with us. When we make good decisions and another good decision and another good decision, eventually all those good decisions are going to be brought to account. But that's also true with bad decisions. Bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, end of the month. Now we got to get the past called to account, and guess what? It's not going to be very good. Are we all together now?
Yes.
Okay.
We understood that.
Yeah, I just tried to stretch it just a little bit.